The way I feel about Twitch chat is kind of the way I feel about people in general. When you're hanging out with a few of your close friends and you're all chilling, talking, having a good time, it's great, it's fantastic, people are awesome. But then when you get a lot of them around you and you don't know most of them, and it turns out a lot of them are kind of shitty and this guy smells, it starts to suck really quickly. You know, I love a lot about the Twitch community, and my enforcers are the best around. But man, oh man, when you get those numbers, when even myself, when there's big events going on and I start to get 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 concurrent viewers, it starts to get shitty really quickly. There was an event recently that really kind of highlighted this. So there was recently a couple articles posted up about an event that happened in Austin, Texas, DreamHack. We did DreamHack, lots of competitions, good time, and a new and up-and-coming Hearthstone player who was kind of behind the scenes in the past, came in second place, went by the name of Terrence Miller. Terrence M is his handle. And it was pretty cool, you know, it's always good to see new people come up in the scene, how exciting, you know, someone showing that they can kind of hang with the best of them and almost coming in first place. That's pretty awesome stuff. Well, Twitch chat wasn't focused on this new player who was, you know, doing well and coming up in the scene and making a name for himself. Lots of Twitch chat was focused on the fact that he was black, which in and of itself, just pointing out the pigmentation of someone's skin isn't a problem. It's that they were doing it in very hateful and racist manners, frankly. There was just a bunch of fucking disgusting racism going on. Listen, can we just start off by saying this? The fact that there is even ever a discussion point on the pigmentation of someone's skin, which is entirely based off of your ancestors' exposure to the sun. For example, my skin is fairly light in tone because my ancestors inhabited an area where there wasn't much sun exposure. There was lots of clouds and rain, somewhere up in Europe. Some people's skin pigmentation is darker because their ancestors came up and lived in an area where there's lots of sun exposure. And the fact that there is even any discussion or that it's a fucking issue for anybody in the world, my God, it makes my brain want to explode. But as we all know, there's a lot of shitty people out there who will shit on people because of the color of their skin, because of their sex, because of their orientation, because of their height, because of their weight, because of a wide variety of reasons. People just decide, I want to be a douchebag. Although it's fair to say that a lot of people who do that because either they're ignorant or they've got self-esteem problems of their own, and so shitting on someone else makes them feel better about themselves. Now, I will fully admit that I understand how Twitch chat works, and I understand that not everyone who is spamming emotes about whatever is a completely shitty person. Some people just like to jump on the bandwagon, some people just do it for attention, but that in and of itself kind of makes them shitty people. Well, in response to all of this stuff happening, Blizzard has come out and stated that they're going to be working with Twitch and to try to curb this stuff back. They put out a statement the other day basically saying that they were disgusted with what took place and that they're working with Twitch on a pilot program to help streamline moderation and combat ban evasion. Because, you know, the simple things are to say, hey, you ban certain words. Well, what do people do? They add an extra space, or they throw in a letter or extra number in there. They find ways to get around it. And hey, how about you just ban the people who are being shitty? Well, that doesn't really work because they just make new accounts, they come back, and they continue to be shitty. And IP bans are a thing, but even if you were to do IP bans, that wouldn't necessarily be enough. A lot of internet people are savvy enough nowadays to be able to do a simple task of changing their own IP. So it's a big problem. And I think what even makes Twitch chat worse at times is that this sort of behavior is, by some broadcasters, encouraged. And a lot of people who would just let people say whatever the fuck they want with text-to-speech in donations, and they'll sit there and they'll laugh about some pretty vile shit. Because, hey, they're making money while they're doing it, so if they act like they're long, or if they're actually just scumbags themselves and they think this stuff is funny, then they're gonna keep getting more donations. You see this a lot on, actually, it's not even in all streams. Hearthstone streams in particular seem to be very juvenile, the Twitch chat in a lot of them, a lot of the bigger chats, and you know, a lot of times it's fairly harmless. It's good old ribbings, which are fine. It's fine to poke on people and make fun of people, but when you start to get to hateful, disgusting, mean-spirited stuff, that's when it's not cool anymore. That's when it crosses the line. And I don't know what Twitch is gonna do. I'm very curious to see what they have in the works for this pilot program to streamline moderation and combat ban evasion. Like I said, IP bans probably won't even be enough. That's not even gonna cut it, because people just get, hey, I got a new IP, that wasn't hard. You have to do things like slow mode, or you have to do things like sub-only mode. But that's also a bummer, because then that takes away from part of what makes Twitch special. It's just it's a quagmire of an issue. There's a really lot that goes into it. And, you know, something I want to say about Blizzard coming out and taking the reins on this, it's really interesting that this is happening, and I wonder how the people at Twitch feel right now about this. Because it wasn't Twitch coming out and saying, hey guys, this shit needs to stop. No. Blizzard was like, guys, this is like, there was like rampant, like awful, really hateful racism going on at our event being streamed. We would like that to not happen anymore. Twitch is just sitting there in the corner like, oh yeah, we're working on something for that. Yeah, we were thinking about that too. We're gonna cut, don't worry. Like, what the fuck, Twitch? But at the same time, do you hold the website accountable for the terrible shit that people say in the comments? I mean, this has been a problem on the internet since comment sections have existed. Being anonymous and having zero repercussions for what you're doing leads to people exposing the terrible person that they are. This happens all the time. Not too long ago, YouTube did this overhaul to try to stop shitty comments. Hey, guess what? As someone who posts videos on YouTube on a weekly basis, shitty comments still show up. And hey man, I'm freaking I am as it stands not even close to the target of harassment that some people out there are. Some Twitch streamers, if you're of a minority or if you're not male, you deal with a lot more shit than I have to deal with. And it's even, like, I even sometimes, I'm going through the comment section of my stuff and being like, fuck, dude, I don't want to do this anymore. There's a bunch of assholes out there who apparently just hate me, and they're coming in here and they're watching all my stuff. I don't really understand what they're doing with their lives. Oh, yeah, I know, I get it. They don't have much of a life. And they're actually probably really sad, and so they're just spending their time trying to make other people feel sad too, because, hey, man, misery loves company. I guess that's an important thing to keep in mind when you're dealing with people like this. It's that they're usually not in that great of a place themselves, but it doesn't make it any better, and it doesn't mean we should excuse it. Just because people probably have reasons for being shitty doesn't mean we should sit back and be like, well, they're miserable, so it's fine. But just know that, at least. Maybe that makes you feel better. And maybe that makes me evil too. But I take comfort in knowing, hey, the people who are really shitty people on the internet, they're probably a lot sadder than I am that they're being shitty to me, so. Maybe I'm going to hell for saying that, I don't know. Bottom line is, I really wanted to just come out and talk with you guys about this. You know, whatever you'll have to say about me, I try the best I can to be a reasonable and respectful and a decent person. You know, sometimes I'll make some jokes here and there, but not to a crazy degree like we saw in Twitch chat from this DreamHack event. And I also want to say, Terrence, buddy, good job. Congratulations. It's sad that people are focusing on this. This is what's making the headlines over someone coming up in the pro scene and making a name for themselves. This is the world we live in, unfortunately. There's a ton of terrible people, and this is what people talk about instead of people's successes. So just use this opportunity. Congratulations, man. You know, sorry for all this shit that's going on. The internet is a tough place. Filled with a bunch of pricks, apparently. So, there you go. Anyways, guys, I'd love to know what you guys think about this topic. You know, it's a tough thing to solve. I really don't know how they're gonna do it. There exists, you know, slow mode and sub chat, but beyond those things, it's gonna be really hard to just stop people from being shitty, because there's a lot of really shitty people that exist. And you can't really do anything about it. Beyond trying to have more severe punishments and some crazy situation where everyone's personal information is tied to all online handles, which I don't think that's actually ever gonna happen. I personally would have no problem with it, because I'm not going around being an anonymous dickhead on the internet. So if everyone wants to know that Dennis Duhamel is the one posting these comments, that's fine by me. But, you know, we got to keep our internet freedom, so I guess that's never going to happen. It's a tough... I'm not even here to try to propose any solutions, because I don't know what they can do. I'm just here to try to say, hey, if you're out there and you see people being douchebags, maybe say something about it. And if you know broadcasters who encourage this behavior, maybe stop watching them, because it'll give them less incentive to continue to encourage it. All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you all have a good afternoon, and until next time, I'll see you later. Be good to each other, please. Do that for me, too.